All right, so in the most unsurprising turn of events, Rolling Stone has obtained audio of Jonathan Majors admitting to his behavior. Let's talk about it. Of course, like I said, this is coming from Rolling Stone, and everything that I will be discussing, all the articles, will be linked in my description. Let's get started. Rolling Stone says Jonathan Majors admitted to strangling an ex-girlfriend in a previously unreleased audio recording obtained by Rolling Stone. The conversation was captured in the aftermath of a days-long fight between Majors and his then-girlfriend, professional dancer Grace Jabari in September 2022. The Marvel actor had been living with Jabari in London as he filmed the second season of the Disney Plus series Loki when he allegedly became angry at Jabari. According to a since settled civil lawsuit filed by Jabari last April, she alleged Majors slammed her into a car, dragged her back inside their home, and strangled her. The unearthed audio tape captures Jabari confronting Majors about the alleged attack in the following days. So it's a short audio clip, but it says, Major begins before cutting himself off. He says, I'm ashamed he said, I've never been aggressive with a woman before. I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like, okay. And Jabari's like, you strangled me and pushed me against the car. And Major's response, he says, yes, all of those things are under aggressed. Yes, that's never happened to me. And Jabari says, because I said something sarcastically in your eyes? Well, Majors then says, well, clearly it's more than that. Jabari says something inside of you. And Jonathan says, yeah, towards you before. And that's when the recording ends. Yeah, there you have it. Now, I'm sure by the time you're watching this video, by the time I put out this video in general, like this news is going to be like multiple platforms are going to be sharing it. So you can go listen to it. But I'm just like, wow. Like I said in the beginning of the video, a very unsurprising turn of events. I'm sure they're going to be people still trying to defend him, but I thought it was interesting because they were trying to launch his career back up again and like have people talking about him, like, yeah, and had him separating them. Y'all remember that fake high school fight he was separating? I was just like, all this just to have recordings come out and say of you saying that you did what everybody, like what you're being accused of. It's just like, okay, I mean, if y'all want to keep defending him, then I guess, but like, I've seen what happens when y'all defend people who do stuff like that. Y'all, bring them back on set, y'all bring them back on stage or whatever it is, right? And then they begin the violence again, and then everybody acts gagged. Oh my gosh, oh my God, how could this happen? Oh my gosh. And then so it either becomes like a Chris Brown thing where everybody just accepts that this person is violent and he might beat up your favorite pop artist, your favorite, but we still want to see him do a backflip, or they could go the route where this man don't have no career no more. So it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see which route y'all take. Remember, a judge barred any previous instances of alleged physical abuse from the trial, only the aftermath of the September 2022 fight. Majors pleading with Jabari not to go to the hospital and threatening to end himself were mentioned in court. But claims by two of Majors' ex-girlfriend, who also alleged like emotional and physical abuse, were also blocked from being shared during the trial. One of the ex-girlfriends, actress Emma Duncan, claimed Majors once choked her and in another argument threatened to strangle and end her. Majors' attorney claimed he never did any of that. But then Grace had a similar story here, like the same kinds of actions she alleged, right? And then after all that, like her head hitting the marble floor and she couldn't breathe and she strangled all this stuff and threatening her. After all that, then he's seen in messages telling her not to go to the hospital. And so like even before this confession came out where Jonathan or where we're hearing Jonathan saying, oh, well, yeah, I did it. I aggressed you. I'm just like, girl, he really think he's somebody thesaurus. Like you really think you somebody thesaurus. I aggressed you. Girl, sit down. Right. So even before this, and you telling, it's just weird to be telling somebody to be having text messages in your phone or sending your partner messages saying, hey, don't go to the hospital, don't seek care. And all of the evidence and all of the things that were brought up in the trial at first, I didn't need this confession to be like, oh, well, this don't sound good. Like, this don't look good, this don't sound good. And so to see some people still trying to be like, oh my goodness, well, they trying to take him down and they're still trying to defend him after even he said, yes, I aggressed you. It's like, what more y'all want? And so stop if you're going to support him, just support him, like whatever. But stop pretending like, oh, it's just, they really trying to take him down and, oh, they trying to take the black man. No, they're not, girl. You dating white girls and think you can hit them? You date these white girls who have no issue calling 911. You know what I mean? And you're a black man thinking that, who has this delusion that you need a Coretta Scott King, but you dating a white person? It's a mess all around. And so him hauling off on these white girls thinking that he can just, oh, well, I'm MLK and shrug it off. I'm like, girl, what universe does he live in? Like, girl, you already know you brush them the wrong way. Like, you brush people the wrong way, Karens the wrong way, and they be ready to call the cops on your ass. You mean to tell me you gonna date an entire person, and not just brush them the wrong, entire white woman, and not just brushing the wrong way or like get their order wrong. You are like abusing them, and you don't think that they're gonna call the cops on y'all? Are you? What's going on? I don't understand the delusion. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting on to see, like, all right, how far are y'all going to try and push this? Because, like, at first, we saw it with Tory Lanez, like, the line just kept moving, right? So, she lied, Grace Jabari's lying. That's what y'all was saying. Grace Jabari's lying, and she's just trying to take him down, and da-da-da-da-da, even though you see messages from this man's phone telling her not to go to the hospital. Like, that's crazy. Even if you didn't have context, if we're seeing in these messages, right, that his partner's clearly hurt and he's telling her not to get care, it's like, that don't set off no alarm bells for y'all. Like, the entire situation, not even thinking about the rest of the entire situation. We're just talking about that fact. Like, that don't set off no alarm bells. So I want to see how they gonna move the line, because before it was she lying and that ain't really happened. Then it was like, oh, well, her finger hurt. That ain't nothing. That was moving the line. Like, oh, he just hurt her finger, just pinched her finger or whatever. That ain't really nothing. That ain't nothing. Why is she complaining? Now I want to see what the excuse gonna be. What's the excuse gonna be this time, y'all? Because they make excuses for everybody from R. Kelly to Diddy to, Chris Brown, Tory Lanez, all these abusive men. I think it's so interesting how the door opens for these abusive black men in some spaces, right? Whereas, and they be open arms. They go to the churches and be redeemed and forgiven in these black communities, but let a gay black person walk around. They doing nothing, right? Hitting nobody. And that is the thing that's destroying us, the queerness, and not these. We've been covering these men on this channel, and not these inept, socially, emotionally inept men, not these repressed, angry men, not them. Okay. Okay. Some rainbow flags y'all mad about. All right. So yeah, girl, they was talking about Magazine Dreams, that movie with Jonathan Majors, and what's his face, Michael B. Jordan, talking about Creed and all this. I'm like, all right, we gonna okay. I just want to see how that's gonna work when we have a soundbite of Jonathan Majors saying, yes, I aggressed you. Yeah, I want to see how that's gonna work. I want to see how y'all gonna pull that off. Other than that, like I said, the least surprising thing ever that Jonathan that this news about Jonathan Majors is coming out or has come out. Thank y'all so much for watching. Love you so much. And make sure you have a good evening. This ain't the only, push the holy, worship me, yeah, you can blow me.